Hey guys, hello beaut, how's everyone doing? Hello and welcome to the Alert Show. My name's LOD. When I say bouye, you say E. Bouye, E. Alors, today we're going to be talking about breastfeeding. I am having baby number 3 and I've got a big decision to make. Will I be breastfeeding? And my answer is yes. So stay tuned and we're going to be talking about breastfeeding throughout this session for today. All right, if you're new to my channel, make sure you click the subscribe button and click the alarm bell at the top, so obviously when I've got new videos uploaded, you would obviously get a notification to say, hey, you might want to go to the Alert Show, she's got a new video on. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, stay tuned. And for those of you who were already my I'm out of breath. It's so hard talking, especially because I'm pregnant. I'm struggling to breathe. But for those of you who are new to my channel, like I said, make sure you subscribe. For those of you who are already here as my supporter, thank you so much. And don't forget to click the like and share button and comment down below. So we can obviously communicate together. Yes. If you're new here, I am having baby number 3. I haven't revealed the gender yet. I probably will do later on, but we're going to be talking about breastfeeding today. For my first daughter and my second daughter, I did breastfeed. And I'm looking forward to breastfeed again, and I feel like this time around I want to do like a different regime as to what I did before, and I think like everybody else as a working mom as well do have different sort of like schemes that they work around with, and I just want to see like what I can do best for me and my little baby once my baby comes. Now the difficulties that I have faced in the past with my babies were having difficulties with my baby's latching on the nipple, and that was very hard, and I feel like that actually put me off a little bit because I felt like the baby wasn't latching. It was the same for my first and second daughter. I felt like the baby weren't latching at the time, and I had a lot of feeling that I felt like maybe the baby wouldn't attach. And you know what they say, breastfeeding is so important. I need to put my hand down. Breastfeeding is so important as well because it helps you to bond with the baby. And I really wanted to, I had the bond already anyway, but like I needed to feed the baby and I needed to make sure that the baby was having the nutrients. And sometimes it made me to cry a lot because I felt like the baby wasn't latching, like there was something wrong, because you would always feel like there was something wrong. But it was something that I had to speak with my midwife, and lucky enough for me, my mum's a midwife as well, so she really helped me to go through my breastfeeding problems that I had. She was able to support me in that, so it's something that sort of area where you feel like the baby is unlatching. I feel like a lot of women stop breastfeeding because they feel like the baby is unlatching on their breast, on the nipple. So when you have women who have given birth to a baby and the baby is unlatching on the nipple, sometimes you will feel like, you know what, I can't deal with it, I'm just gonna switch on to baby formula because that's simple. But sometimes, trust me, you don't even know if they're gonna actually take the formula, because sometimes they might decline the bottles. You have tummy tippy bottles, you have mound bottles, I think there's another one, I can't remember what it was, but all my babies anyway, after breastfeeding for some time, they've had tummy tippy and they've been fine with that. So yeah, my main problem is the baby latching on the breast. And I feel like that is something that I want to like have a different regime this time. If that's something that any of you out there have had, problems with baby latching on your nipple whilst feeding them, let me know what sort of like techniques you had, so we can both sort of like try it. Because right now what I'm thinking is I'm going to try and possibly get an electric breast pump, and obviously make sure that the milk is producing a lot. But I feel like once you go into getting the milk from the electric breast pump, I feel like you're not going to be getting, you know, the attachment with the baby. That's how I feel. The only sense of attachment you probably get is probably when you're culling the baby and things like that, probably when you're putting the baby to bed, things like that. That's the sort of areas where I'm worried. But I think I should be fine. But I just need to work on that. But I'm definitely going to get the breast electronic breast pump. In the past, I got a manual breast pump. Oh my goodness. Let me take a breath. Gosh, it's not easy. So I actually had a manual breast pump. Now the manual breast pump, it's good. It ranges from different prices, but the one I had, I think it was Tommy Tippy again. I think that was about £60, and I got it from argos.co.uk. And it was so tiring because I kept pumping. You know, I kept pumping it. So basically the pump is to suction your breast in it. So I kept pumping it and pumping it. And it feels so tiring, like your biceps get really tired. So this time around, I'm like, I'm going to definitely go for an electric breast pump where I'm just going to attach. I'm not going to get one. I'm going to get both heads where they can both go on my boobs, on both of them, and pump at the same time. And I'm going to reserve the breast milk. Now, I'm going to talk about how to reserve the breast milk on a different day. So I'm just going to leave it to that. We're just going to focus on breastfeeding and the issues involved in breastfeeding. Yeah. My sort of like solution in which I used for my previous baby was when I was feeding my baby on the left breast. I'm recording the video, baby. Take the monkey then. When I was feeding the baby on the left breast and I felt like she wasn't latching properly, what I would do is I would, you know, take her off the left breast and put her on the right breast so she would obviously feed properly. You need a lot of support, you know, you need a lot of support around you. And it's so essential because sometimes you feel like the baby isn't eating, you know, because breastfeeding is on demand. Do you know what I mean? It is on demand. Like when the baby is hungry, you feed the baby, you know. Whereas bottle feed, obviously it's a formula. So, you know, the baby would be, you know, full up for a couple of hours and then they would be okay. Do you know what I mean? But with breastfeeding, I feel like my babies were hungry all the time. What I felt was challenging, especially when I was a new mother, I felt like the baby was demanding a lot, like frequently. Every time I put the baby on the breast and she'd be sucking. And every time, let's say about every hour or probably every 30 minutes, let me exaggerate it a little bit, that's how I felt, you know what I mean? So you have to have a lot of moral support, you know, in order to make sure that you're doing things right. Do you know what I mean? Because breastfeeding it can be challenging. Yeah. I've gone through it. It made me cry because I felt like my baby wasn't eating. Everything literally just made me cry about my baby. Like for me, I get really attached to my kids when, you know, especially when you've just given birth. Do you know what I mean? I keep looking at my lip gloss. It's a Revolution. I can't even remember what the name is. But if you need to know, just drop a comment down below. But I really get emotional when it comes to my little babies. Like when they start crying, I just feel like something's wrong, something's not right, you know. So yeah, my baby was hungry all the time. I felt like, you know, maybe it's because, you know, my baby wasn't latching properly. But then what my mum advised me anyway, because she's a midwife, she obviously told me that, you know, I could obviously switch the baby on one side and the other side and the other side and the other side, you know what I mean? Because it helps, you know. And as well, doing that, yeah, you know, when you put the baby on one breast for too long constantly, I used to do that and I realized that my nipple was so sore because after some time I realized that the baby was sucking on it for too long. When I say for too long, like really hard, because she wanted the milk to come out, you know. It was like, it was so painful, really, really painful. Don't put that in your mouth, please. Thank you. Let me have it. Yes, thank you. Yay. Yay. Yes, that was my experience when I, you know, breastfed my previous kids. Yes, darling.
Mommy,
Yes.
it's a monkey.
Oh, okay. Jumping monkey. When is the right time to stop breastfeeding? And I think it's, it's an individual decision. For me, I kept breastfeeding until about I literally wanted to breastfeed until when the baby was 12 months, which is 1 year. I know it's a lot of time and a lot to give in, especially if you have a partner and that, but there are a lot of benefits there are a lot of benefits for the baby, and I wanted to go forward till about 12 months, but unfortunately, babies are all different. Sometimes some babies will actually tell you, not vocally, but you can tell when they just stop latching. My daughter just literally stopped latching my breast at 7 to 8 months, and I had to start soft foods, which are like soft solid foods, and formula. I had to start that, in order for a baby to have enough. I feel like my shirt is a bit tight, from ensuring that my baby was having enough nutrients and was eating and feeding well. So I had to do that. So yeah, some babies will stop latching. They will completely refuse your breast. They no longer need your breast milk. So yeah, it does happen. Like, there's one thing I always say in my videos in relation to pregnancy, and it's about having a lot of support around you. I had a lot of support with breastfeeding. My partner was very helpful. I didn't used to drink plenty of water, and he always used to go into Aldi or Lidl and just buy bottles of water and just kept it at home in the kitchen or in the corridor. So I would always remind myself when I say that I've got to drink water, because obviously the more you drink water, the more your breast will produce milk. So fluids are so crucial for you. My mum as well was very helpful. Sister was. So in general, my family was very helpful. But yeah, you need a lot of support. When you're having a baby, you need a lot of support in general. And I keep saying it, and I'm going to stand on it. So yeah, because sometimes you can feel tired, let go of yourself. And what else can happen to you when you're breastfeeding? I feel like when the baby is when the baby's refusing your breast, what else can happen to you when you're breastfeeding? I feel like when you're breastfeeding, if the baby's refusing to latch on your breast, I've been there before. From my previous in my previous pregnancy, I felt like my baby was refusing, and I felt like I was going in denial. I was like, I don't know what's going on. I felt emotional. So why isn't she latching? But I remember my partner was like, don't worry, everything's going to be okay, just take your time, just make sure you're eating fluids and drinking plenty of water and things like that, and just reminding me to take it easy, because sometimes we expect a lot. When you have a baby, sometimes you don't know what you to expect, and sometimes you expect a lot from the baby, thinking, yeah, the baby, as soon as you put the baby on the breast, they're gonna suckle on your nipple. So yeah, I feel like when it comes to breastfeeding, yes, baby. Okay, you want to comb my hair? Don't comb your hair because you're going to mess it up. Keep it here. Thank you. When it comes to breastfeeding, there's a lot to deal with, I wanted to touch base on this particular one. Breastfeeding your child, your baby, gives a lot of gives that bond between mother and child, and it's something that I always say to my partner, that he can't have that bond. He can't have that bond. Do you know what I mean? It's just impossible. But he just has to cuddle the baby and play with the baby and that. So that's why I always tell him. But yeah, it is something that as soon as you give birth, as soon as you see your baby, the first thing that they do after they've cleaned the baby up, dressed the baby up, they'll tell you to breastfeed the baby, because that gives the emotional, psychological bond with you and the baby. Did I like anything about breastfeeding? I think in my mind, the only thing I liked about it wasn't some sort of sensational adaptability that I liked about it, or it wasn't giving me no sensational, thoughts or whatever. It was more about feeding my baby and making sure that my baby was getting the nutrients. So I think you sort of like have to get your mind set when you're going into breastfeeding to tell yourself that this is the right thing to do, and it's for the best interest of the baby. Because what you will find out is, I'm sure a lot of you mothers out there have tried this. Once the baby goes on formula, some of them will get constipated. I remember when my baby went on formula, when she first started formula, I actually started SMA. Lord Jesus, help me. I literally cried. I would hold my baby and I could feel the way she was so, her muscles were so contracted when she was trying to shit. And I just felt like I wish I could just go in there and just take that shit out, and she would be fine. So I literally had to start. I changed her formula and she went on Aptamil, and she's been on Aptamil ever since. And that's been brilliant for me. So, yeah. From my experience, I would say every baby and every breastfeeding journey is so different. Just as I would say every pregnancy is different. Never ever compare your first pregnancy to the second or to the third or to the fourth. Never do that, because they're all different. Your labor is going to be different. Your morning sickness is going to be different. The way you look is going to be different. Some of the pregnancies you're going to bloom. You're going to be like blooming like a flower. You're going to be so beautiful. Some of them, I'm not going to say you're going to be ugly, but you're going to be swelling everywhere. Look at me, bruv. My nose has gone bigger. Everything's gone bigger. But I still love myself. You have to have that self-love. And remember, you're bringing an angel, a human being into this world. And a human being is inside you. That is a gift from God, So what I plan to do when I give birth, obviously, is to, have a close contact with my midwife and the lactation team, lactation consultant and midwives in the hospital as well, because they can give you very good information if you need help, relating to breastfeeding. And there are midwives as well who can actually help you to position the baby and actually show you how the baby is supposed to be latching on your nipple. And hopefully, because I've literally breastfed before. Okay, I've breastfed my first and my second. So I'm praying to God that everything would be okay, because the first and second was okay. So as soon as the baby latches on, I'm hoping that everything will be fine. Okay, my lovely people, it is time for me to leave you. Thank you so much for tuning into the Alert Show. This is your girl Elodie. I really do have to go now and attend to my baby, because she is literally jumping everywhere like a monkey and asking me what I'm doing. So there you go, she's done it again. I'm sort of like losing concentration, so I have to go. I hope I have touched some topics in there and some sort of like difficulties that some women will face when breastfeeding. If you have any comment or any questions, drop it down below, and don't forget to share, and like and comment, because I always say commenting is like a form of communication, because then we can exchange our thoughts and I can know how to improve and do better in my future videos. I am literally embracing my looks because pregnancy does a lot of things to you, changes your whole body and appearance, so you have to love yourself. As you can tell here, my face and my neck looks different, like everywhere is really different. I'm not gonna get myself naked here. Ok, merci à tout le monde. Je dois aller maintenant parce que les enfants sont en train de me déranger vraiment, donc il faut que je m'en vais me reposer et je m'occupe des enfants. I'm not going to say that in English. I need to go take care of the kids. All right, my beautiful people, thank you so much for tuning into the Alert Show. This is Elodie. When I say bouyaye, you say E. Bouyaye, E. Bye for now. Bouyaye. Yes. Bye for now. Bye-bye.